Hey leaders, really quick, I wanted to tell you about August 28th. It's a Sunday, and after services at lunchtime, we will have some lunch for you guys, and we're gonna do some vision casting and a little bit of training in our room for you guys upstairs. And so there's gonna be lots of food. Please, please, please come. We will see you guys there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Some gift cards, prizes, all that stuff is coming out too. So see you guys there. Now, this curriculum for August is going to be, it's one of my favorites, just on how they do it. And so it's one big story. And so we're talking about Genesis through Revelation, all about kind of going in order and everything, and all about the big, awesome stories and epic stories that are in the Bible. And so you're going to see a lot more of that. And it's going to be, starting at the Genesis story of creation, we're going to see a lot of cool stuff. But to set up creation this week is a little bit different. We're talking about the biggest commandments. Okay. So like loving God and loving others, right? And so we're actually kind of doing that first and then jumping into, on week number 2, the story of Genesis and what that looks like. And so this one's going to be really fun, but you'll have an every epic story print off, okay? And what that is, it's just literally just a big poster that has the word epic on it. And we're going to be adding pieces to that storyline throughout the month of August, okay? And eventually it will look like this, okay? Where you have basically everything that comes into a good story will all be circling around the epic poster that'll be in your room. And so start off with just asking the kids, like, hey, what is your favorite story and why? And did you notice that your story has all of these different components, right? And so kind of get them thinking about what makes a good story and what's your favorite story. Maybe you can tell them that too. Then you're going to have a storybook activity page. And with these, they're going to be creating their own storybook all month too. And so you'll have Ziploc bags that you can write their names on and stuff like that. And you can put those back in your folders. We'll keep those, give them to you the next week. But these storybooks, you're going to have them write encouraging, loving things that they can do to love other people in these storybooks. And so have them either like draw out like something that they've done nice to a friend or something before, maybe even that they did this week, right? Especially as school is starting up in the next couple of weeks, you might have some good ones in this. And then when you put them in the bags, right, you'll put them in Ziploc bags, you'll put their names on it and all that stuff. So that way at the end of the month, they can take all their whole story home, okay? And again, just going along with that big story. But have them think of something to love other people, like baking cookies, sharing toys with someone, that kind of thing. Like, keep it simple. Then go through the Bible story after you come back from large group, okay? So we'll go into large group, we'll talk about the greatest commandment, right? And so it's Matthew 22, the 34 through 40, and it's in your first after video activity 1. Look right at the top of the page and you'll see where it talks about go through that Bible story together, right? We want to go through it so that it's fresh in their memory and they really understand it. And then you guys can play the head, shoulders, knees, cup, which we've played that in large group before. It's basically where you're just yelling out head, shoulders, knees, knees, shoulders, whatever you want to yell out, and then they have to be holding that body part. And then when you say cup, the first kid that grabs the cup wins. And so that's just a fun game. There's honestly no really relation to what that's all about, but it is all about like loving God and loving others, right? And so as we have fun together, remember that there was a lot of rules and different things going on in the Old Testament, but Jesus summed it up into 2. Love God, love others, right? And so we can love God by loving others is our bottom line for today. Obviously those are 2 separate things, but we can love God by loving others. That's just one way that we can love him. And so, you can even say like love God and love others if you want to, depending on how you want to kind of direct those 2 commandments and what you're really pushing with your kids that week. So then what you're going to do is you're going to have a large poster board, okay? And with this poster board, you're also going to have some glue and you're going to have different laws, okay? So these are the Old Testament laws, the ones that Jesus fulfilled and put all together, right, into those 2. But with these, they might have some interesting ones in here too. With these, what you're going to do is you're going to have kids hand these out to kids, and as they read them, they're able to sprinkle some glitter onto this page. Now, what you're going to do before they sprinkle anything is you're going to write with the glue that's in the bag, love God and love others, okay? And it's super clear, so they won't be able to see it until they put that glitter on, right? And so after they are reading each one of these, then they can sprinkle that stuff. Make sure you're not sprinkling it on the carpets. Make sure it's on the concrete so we can easily clean it up, okay? And then eventually they will reveal the love God, love others, right? Then you have some more discussion questions on the next page as well. So like, what are some things or some people that you love? What are some ways that you can show love to God? What are some things you could share those things, practical ways, all of that, okay? Then you have a verse words activity page, and with this, you will have the memory verse in little bitty slips of paper like this, and you'll have a cup of bowl or something like that. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna allow them to draw one word from the cup, and then they have to put all the verse together. And so I would recommend going through that 1 John 4:10 verse first so that they kind of have an idea of what it is. And as they pick it out, when everyone has one of the pieces of paper, then they have to start in order and shout out the word that they have in order of the memory verse, not in order of how they grabbed it. And so as they do that, then you can have them swap papers and mix them up and stuff, and then do it again just to where they're hearing the verse a lot, okay? Then ending it with prayer, right? And so you can have little index cards if you want to on this, and they can write love God at the top of that index card, and then love others at either the other side of the index card or whatever, and then even have them write how they can do one of those things underneath that each or this week, right? And so like under love God, they can say, you know, God, I want to talk to you every day this week. Or on the other side, love others. Hey, I'm going to share my toys with my sibling this week. You know, something very simple like that and practical that they can actually do to love God and love other people. And that's it for this week, guys. Thank you guys so much for all that you guys do. Remember that the what you say part at the bottom is kind of the biggest part that you need to be paying attention to, just because that's how it relates back to the stories. Okay, and so I don't want it to just be like playing games, right, and them having fun, which, although that's part of it, I think it is very important for us to make sure that we're talking about why the games are important or why we do the games that we do. And feel free to also ask the kids, like, hey, what do you think this game means as far as in relation to God? Like, how can we learn about God from this game, if you want to put it like that? And so simple ways that they can even use their brains to do that. Thank you guys. See you guys on Sunday.